Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. And this one, I'm laying out the plan that I have for one of my agency clients, which is actually the family business. It's my father. He's a digital marketer as well, and he runs a online community called My Silent Team. And it's a Facebook group, and it's a website and a podcast and all this stuff. And he's got a book out there, and he's been in the business for like 15 years. And he's never once used any sort of paid traffic method or really, been very intentional about his funnel building. It's just been all organic. And there's a lot of work to come in and do, but essentially my plan is that I'm raising, the bottom line monthly revenue of this business and just shooting it up through the roof by implementing some better paid tactics. And this is just a long-term plan for this. I call it a client, but again, it's the family business. So I don't know if the client's the right word. I will be getting paid to do this because, I'm coming in as a contract worker to grow the family business. But I don't really know if, you call it a client or not. I don't know if it's fair to call it a client because it's definitely been very easy for me to land because it's my father. So I just hit him up and said, hey, there's some stuff I want to do. What do you think? I got the meeting and now we're rocking. So this is my plan for that though. Hope you guys enjoy seeing sort of what I plan on doing. First, before I show you the plan, let me just explain to you the business model that they're rocking so you understand why what I'm doing is so important. So I teach this strategy in Impact Income, but let's just draw out their sales bubble. If you don't know what a sales bubble is, that's okay. I'm going to explain it to you in this video. Imagine, each of these dots represents like some 1,000 people, right? Your goal is to expand your influence, which is this bubble, to the point where you've got those people inside of the bubble, right? Now you've got a couple thousand people inside your bubble, and when they're in that bubble, they're easier to close, they're easy to sell stuff to. Their form of a bubble is a Facebook group as well as a podcast. And the podcast acts as sort of a front end of the funnel. And same with a book. And the book is called Silent Sales Machine. And you can look that up if you ever want to. But so the funnel essentially looks like this right now, right? You've got a book / the podcast, right? And that sends people into a Facebook group. And from there, a bunch of different stuff happens and we convert people into sales. You've got a yearly event, and the event hosts actually this past event, I think we had 500 people. It was sold out. And what they teach is Amazon selling methods. Of course, the niches have changed year to year, not year to year, but over the past 10 years or so. I think we started off selling like info products on how to sell tickets on eBay. And from there, it's just kind of gone up and up and up until now we sell info products on how to get results on Amazon. And some of the success stories are incredible. We've got 8-figure sellers coming out of this thing. And so we're driving a lot of results for people on Amazon. So here's my plan. The few things that I see that are the biggest assets are, number one, they've got, let me write out assets that I'll be working with. And these are sort of authority assets as well as conversion assets, and I'll explain to you sort of what that is. Authority assets is like, makes for good ads and makes for good front-end stuff and helps me market them better. One is that they've actually got the favor in a small way of Amazon. And I can't really explain how that is. It's kind of not public information, but Amazon really likes My Silent Team. And I can't tell you how, I can't tell you in any structure, otherwise, I'll be hurting potentially their reputation with Amazon, but Amazon likes them, which is incredibly rare for an info product seller. Most people, including their competitors out there like Amazing Selling Machine or maybe some of Kevin David's stuff or these popular Amazon gurus, Amazon doesn't really like them because, Amazon doesn't want people profiting off of the process of simply getting people on the platform. They want people profiting off of the process of creating successful sellers. And so that's their first big asset, so we can leverage that in their ads and stuff like that. Next is an incredibly high converting Facebook community. And when I say converting, what I really mean is it's such a powerful community and it's almost like a family element that when somebody joins this Facebook group, they end up like more than 20% of the time buying the proven Amazon course pack, which is a powerful, powerful Amazon program. And has created these incredible success stories. And it's only like, I think it's $400 right now. Whereas things like Amazing Selling Machine are almost $2,000 to $4,000 and sometimes even upwards of that just to get started. So for $400 you get more. I'm not trying to sell the program to you, I'm just trying to show you the leverage that I have here. For $400 you get an incredible package. And so here's what I'll be building for them. There's a handful of things that I'll be building for them. I'm trying to figure out in my head as I'm making this video how I structure this and show you what I'm doing. But let's just imagine this. So let's imagine this bubble is, again, their Facebook group. And every time somebody comes into their Facebook group, right, they come out the other end a buyer, like pretty consistently. And so what I'm realizing is that we just need to structure a certain way where we get qualified people who love what's going on in this Facebook group into this Facebook group. And well, how do we do that? Well, we need to build a funnel that qualifies this person right here and gets them into that group. And there's a handful of assets that they already have that really do that. And the first thing that I really see that does that is the book. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a campaign that gives away that book for free. And they just break even on that offer where they're paying shipping, and then we have our suppliers ship out the book to them, and we're going to be doing Facebook and YouTube ads to give them that book for free. And we're going to spend anywhere from 60 to maybe 80 grand a month is the goal, getting that book in the hands of people who see the value of online entrepreneurship, Amazon as a platform, e-commerce, these sorts of things. And that age range is anywhere from like 20 years old up to even like 60 years old. We have some people in the community that are in their mid-50s and have like, you know, they're like 60 years old and they have like grandchildren and they're doing this to support their family. Like, that's the level that we're at right now. It's not just young guys. So there's a huge market to tap into there. If you look at maybe like Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels, how he introduced ClickFunnels to the market was, you know, he educated people and then he showed them, hey, here's this new opportunity, here's this amazing thing, but there's problems with it, and I can fix those problems with this product. So he educated a market, and then once he was done educating the market, he brought a solution to the problems within the obvious problems that exist within that thing. He introduced funnels and popularized the concept of funnels, and then he gave you a software to create funnels with, right? And that's sort of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to popularize the idea of selling on Amazon and having an e-commerce store, and then give them a route to actually do it. Get people that book, and then follow them up with email sequences that get them into this Facebook group, that qualify people to join this Facebook group, and then turn them into cash from there. And that's one way to convert people, but another way that we're actually going to try as well is we're going to build out a webinar funnel. And that webinar is just going to educate people, show the success stories of other people who have been in the community, who have ended up creating incredible brands. You know, some of the people that are coming into this community, like we have top 200 toy sellers on Amazon, and that's just unheard of for something like this. Like literally, I haven't seen a single Amazing Selling Machine or whatever else, you know, other brands generate that sort of result within their community. They just don't. It just doesn't happen. Whereas, you know, we're able to sit here as sort of the underdog and do this consistently. I'm trying to make these guys not the underdog, basically. And then this webinar not only is going to convert people into a sale straight off, but it's also going to send qualified people into the Facebook group. So we're going to do, again, Facebook ad, YouTube ads, either straight to the book or straight to the webinar. We're going to split test that. From the webinar, they're going to join the Facebook group. From the book, they're going to join the Facebook group from some email sequences, or just, it is also mentioned in the book quite a bit, so they'll join naturally, and that will turn into sales. Now, we have one low-level sale, which is, again, the $400 course, but then there's also coaching, which is, I think, $1.5K to get started or something like that, right? And so my goal is that we're not just getting sales for pack, we're also converting those into coaching sales, because coaching plus the course is where we see the most results for the students. And then I also want to structure in the back end a better way of people giving us testimonials besides just posting in the Facebook group. Now, people do post in the Facebook group testimonials a lot, and that's fine, but I also really want to incentivize that so that we can turn that back into front-end marketing with our ads. And so how this business has been run so far is literally just bringing value to this closed Facebook group. You know, my father posts in there. We have, you know, other people who have seen success on Amazon that we literally pay to post in here. And that's totally fine. That works long-term really well. But if we want more, ultimately, we have a market cap because there's only so many people in this group and there's only so many people who know that what we're teaching is important. And so we have to educate more people, get them into the group and convert them and get their testimonials so we can educate more people and sort of create this wheel. So you see how I've sort of created a wheel here, right? Like we have this, it's almost a flywheel that begins to give us compounding leverage out into the future, and we can just grow off of that. And so the Facebook and YouTube ad angles that I want to hit, just so you know what sort of ads I'll be running for these guys, is essentially I want to do testimonials, right? And I want to authority build really quick by showing, you know, one of the brands that we've partnered with to teach their strategies is that top 200 toy seller on Amazon. So we'll do authority from there. A lot of these other front-end, you know, people like Amazing Selling Machine or other Amazon sellers, their front-end marketing is, hey, you want to get started selling on Amazon? Well, I've got this book that'll help you. Like, they don't even show results. I want the front end to be results. I want people immediately when they see our ads, look, we've got people who quit their full-time jobs and are making 20 grand a month. just from this, like the low level stuff that we teach, right? So I want to leverage that up front, turn that into a book, or turn that into a free book download, or maybe create a new ebook just in case, you know, the Facebook ads and YouTube ads copy doesn't really line up that well with the book. We'll create an ebook. And we're going to split test a bunch of different offers, but my intuition is that the book is going to be the best thing to give away. So again, Facebook to YouTube ads to the book, to the Facebook group or to the webinar, depending on whether they get the book or the webinar, you know, we'll split test those. And to actually track all of this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, in terms of tracking sales, I'm going to have a pixel set up that will have what is called a conversion window of about a year. And so if you don't know what a conversion window is, it's basically telling Facebook, hey, you know, we're willing to wait this long for a conversion and for you to tell us that we made a sale. And so I'm going to spend a bunch of upfront money, and we're going to see if that works about 4 to 6 months later, and I'm going to give it about a year to really tell us, because Facebook's going to be able to know who downloaded the book, if they ended up in the Facebook group, and if they ended up buying from us, if we pixel that sales page and we pixel the book free download page. Same with YouTube as well. You know, Google has the same thing, so we'll just set up a year-long conversion window for Google as well. And the way to make sure that we're not, wasting our money and just spending money and getting unqualified people is that here on the webinar and here through the book and in the email sequences, I plan on selling some small $40, $50 offers just to prove out the people and make sure that we are actually getting people who do convert, so that way long-term we are getting conversions. Because I don't want to just send free people into here. I want to send people that have bought something from us already, because then they're more willing to buy. And that's just something I'll be split testing here with the book and with the webinar. You know, from the book, they'll get email sequences. Some of the email sequences will just be free value. Others will be trying to sell something and pitch something. We'll split test both of those, because what I don't want to do is just fill this Facebook community with people who just want free value. Because we're not willing to just give free value. We have programs. So, you know, the risk of having a year-long conversion window, we're running the risk of filling the community with people who aren't willing to buy. So I'm going to eliminate that risk by offering things sort of more upfront, like $40, $50 programs. And right now, the team is working on a program which is like I think it's gonna be like a $40 program, like Amazon 101. Like everything you gotta know to just get started. And that's gonna act as a really good downsell to the PAC, Proven Amazon Course, PAC. As well, PAC is going to act as a good upsell after they're finished with that. So we'll sell those probably through the email sequences between the book and the Facebook group, and probably on the webinar. I don't suspect that we'll sell that many of the Proven Amazon course on the webinar. We may, but my goal more than anything is just to get people who know what we're about into the Facebook group, because a webinar is a great way to indoctrinate somebody and tell their story. So we're going to get them in the Facebook group from there. So that's sort of the model. I hope that makes sense. I hope this was valuable to you. Because this is, you know, this is upwards of multiple 6 figures a year for me if I do it right as well. You know, it's a big project, just long term. Be a cool case study for me to be able to work on. It's kind of the thing where I'll be working on it consistently every now and again, probably, you know, a half hour a day for the next 6 to 7 months to really get this rocking. But that's the model, and that's what I want to do. Up till this point, again, you know, my silent team hasn't spent a dime on ads. They've only done retargeting ads, which is fine, but they've never tried to get people in the door. They've only sold to people who are already in there with ads, as opposed to getting qualified people in the door, right? So that's what I'm trying to do here, is just get more people in. They already have good systems for back-end sales, so I'm not going to try and change their sales process for PAC and for their coaching and stuff. They got great salespeople, and you know, they have an awesome sales page. They have all that set up. They just have never spent money getting people in. So that's sort of what I want to do. Hope that makes sense. I hope this wasn't too complicated. If you're confused about any of this, feel free to leave a comment and I'll answer personally. But this is an incredible opportunity. I'm excited to work on this project, and you know, I've studied digital marketing for a long time now, and I'm fully equipped to handle this, or at least oversee it. My goal is that I'm not the one clicking all the buttons and actually launching the landing pages and doing whatever. I really want to have a good team for this, and so I'll probably be using my personal network to assemble a small team specifically for this project, or I might just use my current agency team, which consists purely of a media buyer and a landing page guy, and that might be just enough for us to work this, because on a practical, applicable level, none of this is that complicated. Like for Facebook ads and YouTube ads, it's literally just launching the ad. What makes this complex is, you know, proving out the people What questions do we ask them? What do we include in the email copy, right? What offers do we give them on the webinar? It's more so a human psychology aspect that is complicated. It's not so much the actual process of building the system, it's more so making sure that people are being well served throughout the whole thing. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed. That is some super advanced stuff. Like, this is like next freaking level, you know, from what I typically put out on this channel. I think I have another video sort of like it, talking about Sam Ovens, how he makes 130 grand a day. If you haven't seen that, it's a great video as well. I talk about a similar funnel, you know, cold traffic to a webinar to a conversion. That's how he does 130 grand a day. He spends about 30 grand to make 130 grand, not including, you know, his employees and the office space and all that stuff. So, all right, well, I'm gonna end the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. This was a pretty cool video, I feel like. I think it definitely deserves a like or two. And if you have any questions, again, comments are down below. Follow me on Instagram if you want any sort of behind the scenes of what I do on a day-to-day basis. It's also a great way to reach out to me and just speak with me one-on-one. I tend to answer most DMs and stuff like that. Coming out with a course on SMMA soon, and how I sort of land my clients, how I structure my team and all that stuff. Going to be really valuable. If you want me to work with you one-on-one via coaching, I do that as well, and you can apply for a free 15-minute strategy session if you click the link in the description below. At some point, I'm getting so many coaching students right now where I might end up hiring 2 or 3 like coaches that are seeing great results that I can have represent me to help run that, because I'm getting so many students. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, that's it. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.